Hi everyone and welcome to the Cool Stock Workshop. Today we have the mighty Mogwai in the shop. So one thing I've been meaning to do with this for a long time is direct power to the servo, steering servo. It's a Savox 1210 TG waterproof servo, so pretty good servo in the scheme of it. But obviously it runs through the receiver. It gets full voltage, but it doesn't get full current. So obviously it could potentially be running slow, not running at full power. So I contacted Steve Hayworth at Steve's RC Winches, and he's kindly made me up these special boxes, which is a bypass kit. Now Steve makes hundreds of different parts, can supply you all different electronics and winches, etc. for RC, so please have a look in the description down below, follow his link and have a look at his shop. Service is fantastic. Everything that he makes is covered by a 2-year warranty, which is brilliant, and it's also 100% waterproof. So I mean, you know, other than obviously the connections that you make, I don't think you can get better than that. So the idea of this is, like I say, it connects directly to your battery or your power source, and then it reduces the voltage down to whatever you want it to be. Steve can set it at different voltages. I've gone for 7.4, and that should give me 5 amps at my servo, which should be more than ample for this servo. Nice little tidy box. He also makes the cables whatever length that you want, so you know it's about the size of a box of matches, and I'm pretty sure that all of you could find a little space for that on your model somewhere. So it's got warranty, like I say, 2 years. He makes it to your specification. Give him a shout. Really nice guy, really helpful, gets back to you very quickly. You know, what more could you want really? So let's get the hood off and let's get it fitted. Just a brief summary of what's under here. So I built this during lockdown. It's my first sort of big metalwork project. Taught myself a few different skills throughout lockdown. I was one of the fortunate ones that was at home. I was lucky. I worked for a big company, so I was still being paid and I had a lot of spare time, so I thought I would teach myself a new skill, which at the time was silver soldering. So put that to good use, and you know, this was the result really. So it is based on a TRX4 Sport, like the TRX4 Sport. Very great, a very good sort of base chassis. Has Vitavon alley axles and skid plate, which I've also modified myself, just because I like to do those things. And I also have the alloy panhard mount, which I need to refit, because I've actually I made one of my own for one of my other for this truck in the background that you can just about see. Save myself a bit of money. So it's got a worn 8274 winch on the front. In my opinion, best winch that you can get for a scale model. Looks fantastic, but also I've lifted this, which weighs just over 5 kilos, and another model behind it. Direct Deadpool lift straight upwards, no problem at all. I think the rating on these is £52, so you know, if you were ever to get stuck to that amount, you'd be very stuck. Moving back, so I've got the Savox servo. As I said, it's a 1210 SG, so I think that stands for steel geared. I think I said TG earlier, but they do a different geared one as well. It's got a Hobbywing axe in it, one of the originals. It's a 540, but it's an 1800 kV, so I'm more of a sort of, I like the power rather than the speed. I've got 2 electronic winch controllers in here, so one works off the transmitter, one works off of a remote. So the front one works off the transmitter, the back one works off of a press button remote. I usually keep that in my pocket. I've got Spectrum radio gear in here, just because I had a lot of it to spare at the time. And I've got an ESS1 dual sound unit in the back, which not to everybody's liking, but I think for the, you know, the style of model that it is, it's very in keeping. So I've got plenty of places that I can put this. Obviously it needs to go reasonably near to the receiver tray and the power source for the power. So I've got a nice little spot in the middle here, which sit on top of the battery tray. I run it on a 3S, and that should allow me to tap off the power from the top of the speed control, and also it will reach all the cables in the receiver tray. So let's get some lids off and let's get it fitted. So we're just going to do a quick comparison. I've not fitted the box yet, so we'll power up and then we'll just have a quick comparison on speed, and I'll try and do a little bit of a power comparison, see if anybody, you might be able to tell the difference. I haven't used this for a while. Right, so power on. So there we go. So that's speed wise. So if I put a bit of load on that, I mean, that's not even stalling at the moment, but I'm putting quite a lot of pressure on there. So we'll get the box fitted and then hopefully we'll be able to tell the difference. Okay, so it's all in and fitted. I'll tidy all the wiring up in a minute because I've got some other little jobs that I'm doing on it as well. Very easy to fit. It's taken me probably no more than 10 minutes to fit it in, so that's cool. Wired it direct to the power to the battery, not obviously not directly to the battery, but straight to the same supply. Servo out from the receiver and then servo in here. So let's see. Wow, so that seems so much quicker. I mean, the proof of the pudding is going to be obviously once I get out on the trails and start putting it under load, but let's just try that little load test again. So quite a lot of force pushing down there, and that's, yeah, that's not holding back at all. Loads more power, which is exactly what I wanted. So fantastic. So massive thanks to Steve. I've got another one that I'm going to fit onto the truck behind that you can see on the ramp when it's done. So there you go. Please support Steve. He's one of those guys, small guy, does loads of work for the community. You know, it's important that we have these people in the community, or our models are not going to be as good as we want them to be. So thanks again, and thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.